Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. If you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, perhaps you're having a lovely snowfall like we are here in Bethesda. And I left my windows open so that I could take a gaze out as we're practicing together and enjoy the snowfall as we move and breathe together in our day 7 of our challenge. Thank you, Sibley Hospital, for supporting this effort. And for those on Zoom, our continued commitment to ourselves toward movement and breath work, toward our bodies. Today we're actually going to start off in child's pose. I don't always start us off that way, but I thought it'd be a great way to just start to go inward. So if it feels good to you to come into child's pose, sinking your buttocks back towards your heels and bringing the arms out long, or keeping the hips high and just sinking the heart low, then go there. As you do, maybe you close your eyes for just a moment. You feel that connection in this first posture as you're just kind of waking up in the morning to be able to start to move the body and make that connection with the breath. So either the knees come toward the edges of the mat and you sink the heart low, or the buttocks are high. Start to take a natural rhythm of breath in and out. If it feels good to stay still, then find stillness now in that posture. And if it feels like you need to make a couple of movements, maybe tensing the fingertips or moving the wrists, then you could do that too. And for those who are just coming on to Zoom, we're just going to start off in child's pose, everybody. So starting off in child's pose. And good morning to those who just came on to Zoom as well. Good deep inhales in and out. As you find your breath, you find your movement or your stillness. All we have to do in this posture is be ourselves. All we have to do today, this week, be ourselves. We come fully and authentically to the mat. We don't have to run after anything. We simply return to ourselves through mindfulness, through movement, through breath. And we touch the peace and the joy that's already within and all around us. So as you find yourself in child's pose, creating this length, maybe down toward the lower back, extension of the arms, you breathe in, I am enough. And breathing out, I have arrived. I am enough. I have arrived. Gently walk the hands over toward the right side of the mat. As you do, reach longest through the left pinky finger. Start to sink into that left hip. Fan the hands out if they're not already, so you feel the fingertips make contact. Tend the fingertips on the first one, like you're going to play the piano. Let the head be heavy. And then come back over, starting to walk the hands with fingertips tented toward the midline. Pad the hands again and then make your way over toward the left side. So we draw the navel back toward the spine so that way we can start to hone in again on abdominals. Opportunity as well for the inhale and on the exhale, engaging pelvic floor muscles. It's easily accessed in this posture and also in Happy Laughing Baby. Tenting the fingertips like we're going to play the piano. You feel the power of the fingertips. And then we'll make our way back to our child's pose. With our head heavy, just lolling the head slightly back and forth from side to side so that you get a little release on the neck. And now we're gently going to come forward, Hands are going to be starfished out in front of us. Forearms will be on the mat. And we'll start to bring the knees together and then bring the legs along. So we're coming on to our bellies here. I wanted us to start off this way so we could focus a little bit on buttocks, hamstrings, but also on upper body as we're on the floor. So again, just mixing up our practice as I always do. Now, how do you know if your elbows and your forearms are right at your shoulder width distance? You can always take the fingertips, cross them forward, and so that the fingertips are touching the elbows, and then bring the hands back out in front of you, starfishing them out. So here we are in Sphinx pose, right? We have our upper bodies extended. If it feels okay on the cervical spine just to take a look up, that's great. Now, if this isn't working for you, just have your head down. And you can just bring your head down and bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. But let's just stay here for a moment. We're going to come up onto a forearm plank. Again, if forearm plank is not in your practice, you're going to just take one leg up and then the other. We're going to tuck our toes under and then bring the buttocks up. Good deep inhale in. Exhale out. The elbows are right underneath the shoulders so that way you have a firm foundation. Now, if this isn't very comfortable for you, you could just take one knee down here and just have one foot extended, bring one knee up, and then extend, and then let one knee lower. If forearm plank is okay for you, focus on your breath here. We start to take a look up toward the top of the mat, and then start to look down in between the hands so that way the neck is long. We're using our core here as we breathe in and breathe out. If you wanted more, you could take your right foot off and then your left. Don't have to. You can focus more on just the forearm plank. Let's pause here and now take the hips back down and start to bring the chest down. We're going to take our hands now right underneath our shoulders, so keeping them starfished right underneath us. We've done Cobra now a couple of times in our practice, so we're going to hug our elbows in toward our body so we can focus on our biceps. We take a good deep inhale in and exhale out. As we inhale in now, let's start to rise the body up. So we focus on biceps. Hold it here, inhaling and exhaling, and then lower. Just taking a few breaths as we come up. Inhale to come up though, and then focus on the inhale and the exhale. We start to bring the shoulder blades together, and then coming down. Inhaling as we rise up, exhaling as we lower. Inhaling as we rise, exhaling as we lower. Last time, inhaling as we rise, and exhaling as we lower. Start to bring the hands out in front of you now long, like you're going to fly, right? We're going to take your left hand up, right foot up, and pause here. Now my head is up so you can hear me. Your head is down so that way you can protect the neck. We're going to take some tiny pulses with the left hand and the right leg. And we focus on our breath here. So we're kicking out with that right heel. We're flexing that right buttock. We start to make that movement with the upper limb. And we find our breath here. The navel comes back toward the spine. Pause. And bring that right foot down. Let's go over to the other side. We're going to start to flex that left foot and draw that left foot, right arm up off the mat. You can also point the left foot. Do what feels good to you. Tiny pulses now. So we're focusing on buttock and hamstring here as we lift and lower. But it's in a more subtle way than us being on our wrist. But it also accesses different muscle groups. So again, just mixing up our practice, I thought we would start off this way this morning together. It's interesting just to note the energy level of your body in the morning versus your body at your 5 o'clock time frame when we're practicing during the week. It's kind of an interesting look at what's happening. Pause here and take limbs down. Take a moment just to shimmy the hips side to side so that you can have a little release in the lower back. And now we're going to flex that right foot and bend that right knee. We're hugging the knees in toward one another slightly. And then we're going to lift up that right foot like we're going to high five the ceiling. Again, your head is down, and then we're going to lower. We're going to lift and then lower. As you're lifting, see how high you can go, pushing yourself to your own personal edge. Maybe it's just an inch, maybe you can do it 3 inches. Just decide what feels good to you on this side today. Finding your breath as you go, lifting and lowering. We're going to go for 4, lift, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let that right foot come down. Again, shimmy the hips just a little bit side to side just so you can have a little relief. Now let's bend that left foot and flex that left foot. Left knee and flex the left foot. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower. Inhaling and exhaling. Just pushing the sole of the foot up and lowering. Adding layers, taking the navel back toward the spine. And also we're really pushing in with that right front psoas muscle. Really hone in on buttock and hamstring so that you can alleviate any sort of tension happening that could be happening in the lower back as you raise and lower. Let's go for 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Again, shimmy the hips back and forth. So I'm just kind of rocking a little bit back and forth from side to side when I'm saying shimmying, just to release. We're going to go one more time. So we're going to bend that right knee, flex that right foot. We're going to pick up that right knee off the mat and then kick out with that right leg. Come back and lower. Lift, kick out, come back, bending the knee and lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Lifting, kicking out, coming back, and lowering. Let's go for 4 more. Lift, kick out, come back, lower. 3, find your breath, and 2, kick out, come back, and lower. And 1, kick out, come back, and lower. Bring it all down, relax the buttocks, relax the lower back. Again, a little rock back and forth from side to side. We're going to roll over on our backs just to do a little stretching after this, which will feel really good. Let's go over to the other side so we can finish off strong. You can always pad your hands, your chin right underneath if you don't want to leave your arms long, your choice. We're going to flex that left foot, bend the left knee. Inhale to come up. Exhale to kick out. Inhale to come back. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And lower. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And lower. Let's go for 4. Kick out. Come back. And lower. And 3. Kick out. Come back. And lower. And 2. Kick out. Come back. And lower. Last one. Kick out. Come back. And lower. Let's roll over gently onto our backs. With our backs on the mat, take the knees, bend them, feel the soles of the feet. Take a moment just to pause here. So if you have any sort of lower back issues, or you feel any tightness after what we've just done. As you take a good deep inhale in and an exhale out, just gently press the lower back into the mat, slightly lifting the pelvis as you tilt it. Allow some release, giving yourself permission just to be here for just a moment after doing some work now. So we're just accessing different muscle groups in those postures that we were just doing. Notice if you were holding any sort of tension in the shoulders. And now bring the legs long, just gently and slowly. You allow that natural S-curve to occur in the back. We're going to reach the arms overhead, inhaling and exhaling as we go, pressing the calves in, the toes come up. We'll gently grab our right wrist with our left hand, and then let's just take a slight bend over toward the left side. You could even walk the feet over toward the left side too if you want a little bit more of a stretch, or even start to cross that right leg over if you want a little bit more. And then we'll come back as we walk the feet back if you were doing that. Reaching and extending the arms long. Let's just gently grab that left wrist. And if you want, you could walk the feet over toward the right corners of the mat. And start to C-shape the body. And if you wanted a little more, you could take that left foot across, just reaching and extending. Little fluid movement here. Come back to your midline and gently start to round and take the hands down as you gently bring the knees up toward the chest. Again, very slowly so that you start to sense that lower back, allowing it not to move too fast so that you can just find your way as you gently hug the knees in toward the body and rock back and forth from side to side. As you rock back and forth from side to side, just feeling the spine, feeling the flanks. We'll gently hug that right knee in toward the body, extend the left leg long, hover it a couple of inches above the mat. Flex that left buttock so you're kicking out with that left heel, power in that left leg. And now let the left leg relax and gently draw that right knee across the body. Again, a gentle twist. Maybe in this first one you don't go so far. We're going to do it twice, at the beginning and the end, so that you may sense a deeper sensation of going inward as you twist. That right arm is extended, T-shaped out. Right shoulder rests on the mat. Your gaze can start to travel over toward that right outstretched hand. Good deep belly breath in and out as it contracts back, really engaging the core. And then let's draw that right knee back in toward the chest. Just take a circle of that right ankle with right knee drawn in. And then gently, let's switch it out. Take the left knee and extend the right leg long. As you hover that right foot a couple of inches above the mat, take one gentle or firm squeeze with that right buttock as you extend long. And then just let that right leg settle on the mat as we gently take our left knee across the body with our right hand and start to T-shape out that left arm. We breathe in and out, letting the left shoulder head rest on the mat. Deep belly breath as it expands and then contracts back. Enjoying this twist after doing a little work with buttock and hamstring. Left knee is going to come back toward the midline. We're going to make a circle of that left ankle. We're going to gently roll over onto our left side. We're going to do just a little outer hip before we come out. So today is kind of a little bit of a Pilates day. We can just rest our head in the cradle our head in our arm. And then gently as we do, start to inhale, draw that right knee up, right foot up, right leg up. Start to bring that right foot slightly behind you. So right hand is in front of you so you can gently start to roll slightly forward. That way you're really using the core, but you're also again feeling buttock and hamstring as you kick out slightly behind you. Tiny pulse up and back. So that right foot's not stacked on top of the left. The right foot is slightly behind the left foot so that way you can start to sense the abdominal core and then also again buttock and hamstring muscles as you go. Right? A little bit of a focus here today in our Sunday morning practice. Now, draw that right knee in and then kick it out. Draw that right knee in, and then kick it out. With your breath, kicking out, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Last time, exhale, kick out with that right foot. Make a circle, go big or go small, your choice, like you're gonna paint the face of a clock. You can go clockwise or counterclockwise, your choice. Start to really sense that hip. Let's go in the opposite direction, whichever way you came. As you round and you start to kick up, you'll really start to feel buttock and hamstring. We're not going fast, right? We're going slow so that we can really hone in on the muscles. Pause here and now bring it down. We're just going to gently roll over onto our backs and then roll over onto the other side. I'm going to move around so that we can face one another. We're cradling our head in our right arm now. Legs are long. And just move up. Inhale as we lift. So foot is stacked on top of the right? Left hand is out in front of you, so you're slightly rotating toward the front, toward that left hand. Now bring that left foot slightly behind you, right? Now take that tiny pulse. So that's going to really activate that buttock and hamstring muscle a lot more than if you were just stacking it on top of one another. So again, pushing yourself to your own personal edge as you lift and lower. And as you do, taking a good deep inhale in and an exhale out. Noticing how this side feels versus the other. Now we're going to extend and lift. We're going to bring that left knee in, inhaling, and then kick out with that left leg. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause here, make that circle clockwise or counterclockwise, big or small, your choice, but go slow and focus in on the muscles as you round the hip. Go in the opposite direction from the way you came if you want. It just helps you just sense a little bit differently what's happening in the leg, right? As you move it. We're going to go one more time. And then stack that left foot on top of the right. Your hips may be talking to you. Let's roll over onto our backs. And we're gently going to do a figure 4 stretch before we come up. Taking our left foot to our right knee. Pause here for a second. So my left hips are talking to me. I can feel that, right? I'm gently going to push away my left knee. This might be all I need to do today. Sole of the right foot on the mat. Stay here and just allow an openness happening. If it feels good to you to take the right foot off, then go there too. But you don't necessarily have to. We'll take a circle with that right ankle if your right foot is off the mat. And we breathe here. You can even play around with bringing that right foot back if you wanted to and gently bringing that left knee across the body, coming into this gentle figure 4 twist that we learned yesterday. Again, you can always just gently massage the left hip a little bit, allowing it to release a little bit further if it was starting to really kind of talk to you from what we were just doing. Riding ourselves back into the figure 4, however we arrived in that posture, let's gently take the left foot down and bring the right foot up. So again, pause here for just a second to allow the body to settle as you push that right knee away from you just a minute. Stay here if that feels good, or if you want more, drawing that left knee up, threading your hands through the back of the left hamstring. It's good to strengthen the muscles. It's good to then stretch right after so that you really start to feel that expansion, but you may feel too as you move through these practices together daily that you have a little more mobility, a little more strength, a little more flexibility in what you're doing. If you had your left foot picked up and you wanted to gently just draw that right knee across and come into a figure four twist, take a moment to do that, extending, belly breath in and out. And then riding yourself back, right foot's going to come back, knees are going to come up. We want to come up to tabletop. So however you'd like to do that. For some of us, it's kind of fun just to rock and roll. Just catching the back of the knees and then just rocking up and back. Or you can just come right up into Sukhasana, however you are. From Sukhasana, we just roll over onto the knees and then come into tabletop. I'm just going to move back so that we're back into view. Hands are starfished out in front of us. We're not going to really be here in this position very long. I want us to start to come up so that we can do some movement and then come back into half moon, and I want to do that in a slow way so that that way I can better explain than I did yesterday. There was, in my mind, a little bit of confusion for a very, very beginner, and I thought that didn't really do it justice, so we're going to do a do-over and do it the right way. Taking our right foot out toward the right corner of the mat, left hand to the left corner of the mat. Inhale, lift. Neck is long. Take a good deep inhale in. As we exhale, elbow and knee come together. And then inhale, reach out. Elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach out. Fullest expression. Coming in. Coming out. Bringing it in. Bringing it out. Last time. Kicking out. Right knee's coming down. Hands are down beside you. We're going to gently lift that right knee, hover it a couple of inches above the mat, paint a circle with your right knee. Now remember, the right knee could just be painting a circle right on the mat. Or the right knee could be painting a giant circle as you really lift that right knee. Almost like we're doing the old-fashioned 1980s fire hydrant, right? As we lift up. Kind of funny. It's channeling our inner Jane Fonda as we come up. That surely dates us, especially me, coming up. So go as big or small as you want. But again, that external rotation of the knee, right? Right knee's going to come back. We're going to just pause and take left foot out, left, right hand out. Corners of the mat. Inhale as we lift. Really lift and lengthen. And now come in, elbow and knee. Reach out and extend. Come in, elbow and knee. Reach out. Bring it in. Reach out. Bring it in. Reaching out. Coming in. Reaching out. Pause here. And now bring it down. Knee and hand. Left knee hovers over the mat, and we start to paint the face of the clock, right? Or maybe we just go in an outward direction. Maybe you're not going clockwise on this one, you're going counterclockwise for this left knee. And then make it as big or small as you'd like. As you make that circle, notice what's happening with the core. Are you drawing the navel in toward the spine to access the core? Are you finding your breath here as you move that knee? Let's make one more circle. And then gently bring that left knee back down again. We're going to tuck our toes under so that we can come up into an upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, let's push the hips up, downward facing dog. We're coming up for a downward facing dog, right? You got to get up to get down. All right. So gently bring the heels down toward the mat. Let the neck be long, starfishing the hands out. Find that equal, even distribution of weight between forefinger, thumb, and the heel of the hand. As you push away from the mat, grounding down and rising up, you can gently bring both heels down if it feels okay to you. You may find that the hamstrings are starting to release after these 7 days of practice together. Or we can gently start to bring one heel down and then the other if that feels good too. Remember, you can be doing this also with your hands to the seat of a chair. We're gently going to walk or hop, coming up toward the top of the mat. Inhaling up to a halfway lift, hands on the shin, the neck is long. Inhaling. And as we exhale, let's forward fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing, rising up. Good deep inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's pause here for just a second. As we inhale in, let's exhale with our hands down beside us. Tadasana. In our Tadasana, taking a moment just to broaden the collarbone. The hands down beside us, our palms are open, receiving good energy. Morning. Inhale as we rise up. Good deep inhale. Arms come up. Exhale as we lower. Arms down. Inhale, rising up. I'm going to face you. Exhale as we lower. Arms come down. Right arm comes down, left arm up. Reaching up. Good deep inhale. Exhale as we take our left arm up and over the body toward the right side, jutting out that left hip. Gently start to bring the left arm slightly behind you, opening up the chest, and maybe you even extend the left arm too, coming into kind of a more open posture. Inhaling as we rise both arms up, exhaling down our left arm, rise up with the right arm, and then head over to the left side, jutting out that right hip. Right arm slightly behind you. Maybe you open up that left arm. And then on the next breath, both arms come up. And exhale down. Let's just roll the shoulders back for a moment. Slight bend in the knee. You can just take a little movement here. Rolling the shoulders forward if that feels good to you. Inhale as we raise the arms up. Good morning to Miriam and to Tet. Inhale, coming up. Whoops. And that's my chandelier. Exhale, coming down. Good deep inhale, rising up. And let's exhale as we forward fold. We're going to come in and out of some warriors now, just taking our hands down beside us. We'll inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's draw right knee up. We're going to step in and out of warrior one first. As we inhale, let's rise up with that right leg. So we feel that standing right leg. Power as we do. We keep the knee up to hip height, flexing that left foot. And then let's step back as we rise the arms up to warrior one, rising up. Good deep inhale. Exhale down just the right arm and start to lengthen and rise with the left hand. Inhale, both arms come up, reaching up. As we hinge forward slightly on that left knee, flex that right buttock. Feel the right pinky toe make contact with the mat in your warrior one. Rise up again with the fingertips as you inhale, and then exhale, let's come hands to prayer. Right foot meets the left. Inhaling in. Exhaling Tadasana, hands are down beside us. We're inhale as we rise up, reach up with the arms. Exhale, hands to prayer, left knee comes up. Hip height, foot flexed. Inhale as we rise up on the right side, we engage the core, and then exhale as we come back up with the arms. Left foot comes back, warrior one. Good deep inhale here. Exhale down your left arm and rise up with the right arm, maybe taking a look up if it feels good. Feeling that back left pinky toe make contact with the mat. Inhale, both arms come up. And exhale, hands in prayer, Tadasana, or hands to prayer. We come up left foot to meet the right. Hands come down in Tadasana. Good deep inhale here. Gently start to rock up onto the ball of the feet as you lift the heels off the floor. You can even hold on, finger to the wall or to a chair just to get up a little bit higher. Gently bring weight back toward the heel, lift the toes off the mat, and then let the toes settle. Grounding down. Inhale as we rise up. Good deep inhale here. Exhale, hands to prayer, right knee comes up. So we're going to step in and out of a warrior two and then come into half moon. And here I'm going to show you in a very slow way how to access your half moon from different points. Let's inhale as we rise up on the left side. And then as we exhale with purpose, we're going to step way back into a warrior two. Right foot comes back. Right foot's perpendicular to the left foot. And we start to windmill the arms up and over the body. So that back foot is just literally right in one long line, but perpendicular to the left. For a new person coming into a warrior two, our drishti, or our view, is over that left middle finger. Let's play around with this warrior two for a moment. So we can sink as low as we'd really like to in our warrior two, so we feel power in that left quadricep. We find some symmetry between the back arm and the front arm. Right? As we lengthen out, broadening the collarbone. We'll flip our front palm and then reverse our warrior, bringing that left arm up. Maybe you feel some length coming from the fingertips down toward that left hip. And maybe you're able to sink into that left hip a little bit more or not. You could even just be straight, and that's okay too. Arrive in your warrior two, however you are today in your Sunday morning body, without any judgment. Come back to your warrior two, arms are long, inhaling. And as we exhale, we're going to take the left arm, forearm to the top of the left thigh, rise up with that right arm. Left forearm is barely touching the thigh. We're using our core to reach up and extend with that right arm. Right arm's going to come up and over the body. And then we're going to bring our right hand to our right hip, and I'm going to start to guide you into your warrior two, your half moon. So stay in your warrior two for a moment, or you can come out to watch what I'm doing, however you'd like to be. Some of us are already there. I have a block. The block is placed about a foot ahead of my outstretched left foot and then out to the corner of that left pinky toe. So that's my placement. I have a block there because that's a good way for a beginner to get into your half moon. Half moon looks like this, right? We're going to be taking our right foot off the mat. And then for an advanced practitioner, you're going to be taking, let me move back. You're going to be taking your gaze out toward that outstretched hand and then all the way up. So let's get into it though. From a beginner standpoint, we're going to be in our warrior two. That block is out just beyond that left pinky toe and then to the left of the mat. We start to have a nice bend in that left knee from our warrior two. Our left hand comes to the block. And then we gently start to bring weight into that left foot, have a slight bend in that left knee, and then we start to bring that right foot off. Our gaze in the beginner posture is just looking down at the mat. Our hand can be on our hip. And this can be your half moon. Just lifting and extending that right leg. Now, if you happen to be someone who has balance issues and you are practicing from a chair, your half moon could be your hand placed in the seat of the chair and just bringing that right leg up. Again, the gaze down toward the hand, right? So there's lots of ways to come into this half moon together and be successful at it and want to come back and do it again.
because it's a beautiful pose, but it also really focuses a lot on our balance and core. Let's come back to our warrior two now and do this again. So from our warrior two, right, we find that symmetry between the back arm and the front arm. We're really hinging into that left quadricep. Left knee is bent. Good deep inhale here. As we exhale, start to bring left forearm to top of left thigh. Rise up with that right arm. Reach up and extend. Let's take that right arm up and over the body so we have a nice stretch here. And then gently bring that right hand back to the right hip and find that left hand down to the block. If you don't have a block and you have to get down toward the floor, spider tip your fingers so that way you've got a good base, right? And then gently, as you start to bring that right foot slightly forward toward to meet the left, we'll take the right foot off. Now that might be enough for you. You're just taking the foot off and you're just focusing on the balance. But then if you start to feel more confident and the standing leg feels okay, we'll start to reach out and extend that right foot out as we kick out with that right heel. Again, right hand can be right on the hip. If you feel even more confident, your gaze could start to come out toward the camera, toward the lens where we're practicing together. If you feel even more confident, you could take that right arm up to 12 o'clock. Now you're in your half moon. And as you do, we can even do this against a wall, right? So that way you can really focus on the balance. As we inhale in and exhale out, kicking in, kicking out. Yeah. And now we're gently going to flexing that left knee, we're going to bring our right foot back, landing back into our warrior two as we inhale in. We're going to go over to the other side as we inhale in. But this time we're going to exhale, we're going to just windmill the arms over and down, frame that left foot. Let's come into a little bit of a lunge as we bring that back right heel off the mat. Remember, you can have your blocks so you can be up a little higher. We're just going to bring the right foot to meet the left, but I wanted us to have a nice little dip in to this right front psoas muscle, bending the left knee, and then we can gently drag the right foot to meet the left, come into a half lift, and then we'll go into our warrior two on our other side. Exhale as we lower. Inhale, let's come all the way up to standing, reaching up as we inhale. Exhale, hands to prayer, left knee is going to come up. So you know where we're going to go, but this time we're going to go in a little bit more of an expedited fashion as I guide you. But now we've kind of learned the basics of what we want to do. Inhale, growing taller on the right side. And as we exhale, we're going to step all the way back with purpose into our warrior two now. Our drishti, our view is going to be over that right middle finger. Finding our way. Left hand reaches long behind you. We sink into that right quadricep now. Remembering back foot is perpendicular to the right, one nice long line. We open up the front of the chest so the shoulder blades come slightly together. Flipping the front palm, let's reverse our warrior as we rise up with our arms. We start to sink into that right knee. Reaching up and extending. On the next breath, taking the right forearm to the top of the right thigh, barely touching so that we can rise up with the left hand to 12 o'clock. Notice if you're kind of death gripping the mat with your toes, just wiggle them so you have a little freedom there. And rise up a little bit higher so you feel the extension and length along the left side body. And then take that left arm up and over the body. So we're just stretching here, finding length and as we breathe. Now we're going to come into half moon now. So for our beginners, we're going to take our left hand to our left hip, gently start to bring that left foot forward, maybe a step or two. Find your block or start to tent the fingertips toward that outer right pinky toe. Taking the block there, right? I'm going to back up so that I'm not out of this frame. Right hand is going to come to the block. We're looking down at the mat. Right knee is bent. We're gently going to bring weight toward that right foot as we take that left foot off the mat. This might be enough for you, just looking down and focusing on your breath. When we stop breathing is when we're going to start to fall, right? So right hand is down and left hand to the left hip. If we feel confident, we'll start to lift that left leg up a little bit more, kicking out with that left heel, continuing the glance downward. And then if we still feel more confident, we can start to bring the gaze out toward that left shoulder. Continue the gaze, and maybe even still more, we can bring that left arm up. Kicking out with that left heel, we take a good deep inhale in, we feel power on that standing right leg as we reach out and extend in our half moon. One more good deep inhale. And an exhale, hand can come back to the hip, and we're gently going to land that left foot back down toward the mat. Windmill the arms up and over one more time. Drishti over that right middle finger, sinking into that right knee. And then again, windmill the arms up and over so we can frame that right foot. Left heel is going to come off the mat to come into a lunge. Sink into that lunge if it feels good to you, like you're going to start a race. We're going to make our way down to the floor now. So we're going to take that left knee down. Right knee is going to come back to meet the left, and we're going to gently be in our tabletop position. We're going to do a few cat-cows before we go down to the floor, inhaling as we take our chest down toward the floor, our eyes and chin up toward the ceiling, and then gently and slowly, because you might find your lower back finds a little tension in it, we're going to start to bring the shoulders up, rounding the lower back. Inhaling as we sway the back, finding your breath. Navel back toward the spine, exhaling as we round. Inhaling, swaying. Exhaling, rounding. Inhaling as we sway. Exhaling as we round. Gently sink back toward child's pose, so we can take our knees toward the edges of the mat or not, your choice. Sinking back if it feels okay on the knees. If it doesn't, remember, keep the buttocks high, sink the heart low. Just like we did at the very, very beginning of our practice. Find your way. Forearms down to the mat if they're not already. And we're gently going to just bring ourselves over onto our sides and then come onto our backs. On our backs, knees are bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Just settle here for a moment. We don't need to go anywhere. We've just moved. We've just learned something new maybe today in our half moon and experience what that feels like. Take the toes off the mat, flaring the toes. Bring the toes back down and take the heels off the mat. We're going to do that figure four stretch one more time before we go into a couple more postures and then Shavasana, taking our left foot to our right knee. Again, sensing how the body feels. We just did figure four earlier in our practice after we had been doing some Pilates-based movements. We'll gently start to draw the right foot off on this one now. We start to settle that lower back into the mat. If it feels good to grasp the hamstring as you draw that right knee in, go there. Let the neck be soft. Take a circle of that right ankle. Gently start to bring the sole of the right foot up toward the ceiling if you want a deeper hamstring stretch or not. Finding your breath. Right foot's going to come back down toward the mat. And then one more twist. So in our figure four stretch, we're gently going to take that left knee across the body, staying in figure four. Start to T-shape out that left arm, and we'll come into that nice twist. So that left knee can just be right over to about 1 or 2 o'clock. You don't need to like crank it all the way over. It can just be gentle. Or maybe your left knee is just right at 12 o'clock. I mean, just take a moment just to kind of settle in so that you feel a nice release on that left hip. Let the belly expand and contract back, honoring digestion and elimination in these twists, a detoxifying action. Right yourself back, so we come back with the sole of that right foot on the mat, back into your figure four. Left foot's going to come down, and now we'll take the right foot to the left knee. Figure four on this other side. Gently take that right hand, place that right knee, push it away from the body. Drawing that left knee now up toward the chest, threading our hands to the back of that left hamstring. Remember, you can always use a strap if this is a little bit too much. Eventually you will get there though, if you're not doing that already. Little circle of that left ankle. Left foot's going to come up toward the ceiling. If you want a deeper hamstring stretch as you press that lower back into the mat, you can point and flex the feet. Left foot's going to come down now to the mat. We'll start to take that right knee across the body, staying in your figure four. Left hand's going to come to that outer right knee, and we'll start to T-shape out the arm. That outer right knee now is over toward the left side, and we find ourselves now maybe 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock with that right knee. Belly breath in and out. Letting everything settle and soften. Another good deep inhale in and an exhale out. And then we're going to right ourselves back. Taking both knees now gently into the chest, we'll hug the knees into the body. A little rock back and forth from side to side. So again, feeling the spine, feeling the kidneys as you roll a little back and forth from side to side. Take the feet straight up toward the ceiling, challenging yourselves to straighten the legs as you flex the feet. Hands are down beside you. Take a good deep inhale in, and as you exhale, sense the long leg bones as they settle down toward the sockets, or not. As you point and flex the feet, just taking a moment to let gravity do its work. Take the feet now in the shape of a V. Gently draw the feet away from the body for a moment. Go down far enough so you feel that natural S curve in the lower back. Maybe you even sense the inner thigh in the groin area. And then gently, using the abdominal core, start to draw the feet toward the shoulders, keeping them in the V. Lower back settles into the mat. Toes come back so that you get a deeper hamstring stretch. We're going to take our feet in together and then bring them back out. So find your breath here. As you bring the feet in and out, we're going very slowly. You start to sense as you draw the legs in toward one another, using the inner thigh muscles with purpose as you draw them in. Also notice as you draw the feet in very slowly together, bringing the navel back toward the spine, you have to engage the core to do that. So inhale as you come out, feet in the shape of a V. Exhale as you come in, start to draw in the abdominal muscles. Inhale, coming out. Exhale, coming together. Inhale, coming out. Exhale. Really engage the core. Inhale. Notice if you were holding it in your shoulders, so focus on the abdominals. This is our last one, so making it count. Bend the knees. Just catch the knees with the hands and gently start to rock the knees slightly forward toward the armpits and away. We're just allowing a little release to the lower back if you felt anything. Knees are going to come together. Hands are down beside you. We're just going to circle the knees like you're going to paint the face of a clock. Slowly. And then go in the opposite direction. And bring the soles of the feet down. Let's bring the feet down long. And just like we did at the beginning or toward the beginning of the practice, arms are overhead. You may feel that lower body now. We've done a lot of work to the lower body. It's been a great practice. As we take our feet and hands off the mat, let's extend long and then go in the opposite direction. So just stretching here. Just like we did earlier, start to walk the feet and hands over toward the right corners of the mat, C-shaping the body. Taking our left wrist with our right hand, extend and lengthen that left arm a little longer. Find your breath here as you go. Remember, it can be very audible in your home studio. Coming back to your midline, reaching long. And then let's head over with our left feet, and the hands over toward the left corners of the mat. Gently grabbing our right wrist with our left hand. And on the next breath, really reaching and extending. And then let's right ourselves back toward our midline. Take some movement with your fingertips as you expand the hands, starfishing them out, really flaring the toes, and then maybe making fists with the hands to create a little tension here. And then gently start to bring the arms down toward the hips. Let's find our way into Shavasana. Maybe we bring our feet toward the edges of our mat. Pressing the lower back in toward the mat as you sink the pelvis up for just a moment, just allowing a little bit of tension in the lower back, and then releasing, allowing that natural S curve to occur. And breathing here. Now allowing a softening. If you want to have a blanket to cover the body up, go there. Hi, Abigail. Hi, Craig. Craig, thanks for the hike yesterday. We did a beautiful hike in Leesburg with Amy and Tara and Fraser and Mary and Willow. We had quite a crew yesterday. It was wonderful. I loved being outside in the fresh air with no mask on. That was very nice. So in your Shavasana, your final rest with nothing to do but just be. Relaxing, intensifying the mind with making that connection with movement and breath. Resting in that connection. I read this to you yesterday, but I wanted to again. Two things. One from the Dalai Lama. Today I'm fortunate to have woken up. I have a precious human life. I'm not going to waste it. And now from Craig Crippen. One of my very, very favorite readings I'd like to share with you. You just focus on the relaxation, on the being. You are responsible for your own happiness. In fact, you create it. You attract it. You manifest it. You are the architect of your reality. You choose your thoughts, your perceptions, your reaction to external forces. You possess all of the tools needed to expand your awareness, to orchestrate the evolution of your consciousness, to choose happiness, to choose love. You are that powerful. Create the life that you deserve and vibrate love. Kindness starts with you. Let it transmit to every being, every plant, animal, and human that you touch today. Today is going to be a good day. Good deep inhale in. Let the chest expand. The heart opens to the possibilities of this day. You came to your mat and practiced, moved and breathed. Gratitude for that. Slowly start to make some movement to your fingers and to your toes. Cradle your head in your arms. Loving kindness to you. When you're ready, making your way up to a comfortable seat so we can finish our practice off together. Our eyes are closed as we make our way up. We start to let the body lengthen in that vertical way, rooting down as we sit in Sukhasana, our easy pose, crisscross on the floor, or hero's pose on our knees. We notice how our body feels after moving and breathing. Hopefully happy and better, more energized and ready to move through this day in this beautiful snowy day that we have. Let's bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly today. Thank you so much for sharing a practice with me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. Good deep inhale. As we exhale, namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me on this Sunday morning, day 7. Yeah. And we're going to keep moving through our week together. Really enjoyed the practice. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow night.